This episode is a video episode. You can catch it on our YouTube channel, Your Money DR.
If you own a business, tax season is not just April, it's all year. I'm Mildred Dillon, CPA, and in this quick episode, I'm breaking down what you need to handle now so April doesn't handle you. If you've gone into business with other people, your taxes already got more complicated because that's the IRS definition of a partnership. Now, you could be something even fancier like a corporation or an S Corp. So at this point, I'm going to direct you to your tax advisor to find out exactly what you should be filing. But if you're a partnership or an S Corp, you're already racing towards the first of our income tax deadlines, which is typically March 15th, but we know these due dates move around depending on the year. So that's why what I want to talk about today is just some of the things that you should have had filed by now, depending on the type of business that you are when it comes to those taxes and tax due dates. I want to just say this right now. Once you start a business, there's kind of no such thing as tax season because all year long we've got requirements. Again, depending on the type of business, we need to always have taxes on our mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is share a resource and you'll be able to send me a message. I'll send it right to you where we're going to look at just some of what we know should have happened by now. This is not a tax thing per se, but again, it's what we do at the Money Doctor. You want to have all of your bank accounts, credit card accounts, PayPal, your Square, everything reconciled by now. Reconciliations mean you're making sure what's on that statement is in your software. Those are reports we can trust because you've taken the time to go line by line, or technology actually does it in most cases, to make sure that it matches so that we trust what that software is spitting out. So for all businesses by now, we're talking 2.5 months into the new year, you should have had those accounts reconciled already, and you should have generated the reports and reviewed those reports with your CPA, bookkeeper, whoever's handling that part of your business. Now, you should have also, in most cases, paid that last quarterly installment. Remember, you've heard estimated tax payments. So last year you did 3. They give you till January to do that 4th one in a lot of cases. And so that should have been paid if you're one of those businesses. So at this point, I want to talk about 2 sides of the house, okay? You've either got employees in payroll or you don't. 2 sides of the house. So on this side of the house, we're talking about businesses that paid contractors. So let's say for different reasons, people qualify as independent contractors and don't have to go on payroll. Well, in that case, you should have filed, sent out those 1099s, okay? And then we've got local things, okay? And again, this is for pretty much all businesses you need to be looking at. If you've got licenses, occupational license tax is definitely probably being renewed right about now for the prior year. You got local, state, federal, 3 levels of taxation here. Property tax, again, that's local. Franchise tax, again, that can be local or state. These are taxes that get assessed to businesses that have some of these things. I do want to say you want to make sure you're preparing for that first estimated tax. See, we talked about the last one, right? In January. Well, we've got the next one coming up in April. So make sure you're putting those pennies aside. You've got that accounting system current January, February, March, so that you can make some good estimates. And then, of course, it's kind of based on last year, too. We'll talk about that in another video. All right, let's talk about this side of the house with employees. Can I just tell you, this entire side over here is if you've got employees, it's all payroll related. So look at what we're doing right now. If you're not on payroll, none of this applies to you, okay? This is why I literally scare businesses off every year from becoming a corporation, because this is a requirement just for you being that S Corp, just for you being that C Corp, is to have payroll. So not entering into that phase of business before it's time, look at how much of a headache you're saving yourself by not doing that. Just want to let you know, we're here to help. If you've got any questions, look at this last spiel here. Of course, you want to reach out to me, the CPA, Money Doctor that do taxes, okay? But we're going to help you get the numbers for all these forms. They require reports or the software that we choose. We'll have payroll as part of that software to help generate these returns. That makes it super simple, all integrated, all in one versus some over here, some over there, and we're getting that information. But I do want to say one last thing. Make sure you're classifying your workers properly. This is a really big area, and businesses are getting in a lot of trouble, even more than they used to, for misclassifying those workers. So I'm going to put a link attached to this video where you can go to the IRS website, and they've got tests to determine if a person's an employee, if a person's an independent contractor. Because you see why it matters. If you misclassify someone who should have been an employee and you're making them a 1099, yeah, you're saving yourself a lot of work, right? Right now. If they find out you should have been classifying them as W-2s and you should have been doing everything on this side, we're going to have a problem. And so that's why you want to be ahead of the curve. You want to be in the know for what it is you're expected to file. All right, that was a lot. That was a lot. But the key is get with your tax professional, get with the person who, if it's a CPA, accountant, whoever it is, who's responsible for filing these returns for you. And in that way, you can have that peace of mind that everything's being taken care of. Okay, we're going to come back and close out this 90 days. Again, if you don't have an accounting system, we're still doing that for the month of March. So be sure and check our website or the link in bio where you can learn more about those. And until next time, Mildred Dillon CPA signing off, saying make it a great day for your money, especially getting these taxes paid, and we'll see you next video.
The information presented on this podcast was for educational purposes only, not tax advice. Please consult with me or your own tax advisor for specifics related to your tax situation.